I don't rightly want my channel to be nothing but, GamerGate and, social justice warriors. But it seems that this is what I have been making a lot of videos on, and guess what? I ain't done yet! Sorry, but when something this ludicrous is released, it is deserving of a response video. And while I know that Thunderfoot and Asa both made videos, that's not gonna stop me because I gotta get more subs somehow, right?
Many women have courageously spoken out about how they experience alienation and harassment in gaming. Despite this fact, too many male gamers dismiss the issue as no big deal and insist that there isn't really a problem.
Many women and men who have spoken out saying that idiots trying to co-opt gaming for their own agendas have suffered harassment and attacks for not siding with the other side. And the problem is that the social justice warriors feel that this is not a problem. See, I can make polarizing statements as well, but I like to back mine with screenshots and proof. Ain't that just amazing?
One of the luxuries of being a member of a privileged group is that the benefits afforded to us often remain invisible to us. Working towards solutions requires that male gamers become aware of the ways in which we unconsciously benefit from sexism. We can't work to fix something unless we first understand its effects. With that in mind, the following is a checklist of some of the concrete benefits that male gamers automatically receive simply for being men.
And if you haven't seen this video, let me just say, prepare to have your mind blown away.
I can choose to remain completely oblivious or indifferent to the harassment that many women face in gaming spaces.
Because as we all know, only women are harassed in the gaming industry. No male reviewers have ever been attacked because they graded a Sonic game as less than a perfect 10. No one has ever been harassed or threatened when they say that they don't like a game someone else happens to like. No. All men completely disregard when someone is attacked over a contrary opinion. Now you might say, but Ken, they aren't saying that no men see the issues and that all men are ignoring the plights of women in the gaming industry. But you would be wrong, since this is a privilege. And as such, it is something that we all share. And since it is an invisible privilege, then we will be exercising said privilege unknowingly. This can only get better, right?
I am never told that video games or the surrounding culture is not intended for me because I am male.
Well, that is a bold-faced lie, and you fucking know it. When you take what he is saying, which would be nothing more than women are told that gaming is not for them because they are women. That is a lie, since I can give you multiple examples of women who love video games just as much, if not more, than I do. My friend Emily is only one example of this. Sure, there was a time when gaming was just a nerd thing, but that has changed and gaming is inclusive. There was a time when if you played games, then you were automatically labeled a nerd. But that is now only a label pushed upon the hardcore JRPG fans such as myself. I have been told that because I love JRPGs, then the first-person shooter genre isn't for me because I'm just a nerd who doesn't like good games. The only time I have ever heard anyone seriously say that gaming is a man's thing is from people like Anita Sarkeesian during her TED Talks.
I can publicly post my username, gamertag, or contact information online without having to fear being stalked or sexually harassed because of my gender.
So very true, and preach on, brother! No men have to worry about being stalked if they release their docs online to someone else. Unless, of course, you count a story of a 14-year-old boy who was murdered, according to an article, a poorly written Yahoo article, nonetheless, that was released yesterday. The boy shared his info online over a game, and a 19-year-old took it upon himself to find him and stab the young man multiple times. No. The male gender never has to worry about sharing information online because male privilege, right? Must have just been a case of internal misandry, I guess. Yeah, go fuck yourself, you hipster glasses wearing, pink shirt wearing asshole.
I will never be asked to prove my gaming cred simply because of my gender.
Nope! And to be honest, neither was Sarkeesian. She was asked to prove her gaming cred because of statements like this one.
It's a soundtrack of one song, except I'm doing video games. So it's not exactly a fandom. I'm not a fan of video games. I actually had to learn a lot about video games in the process of making this. To me, the song is positive just because I've only contextualized it in a way to critique male domination in our media. And also video games, like I would love to play video games, but I don't want to go around shooting people and ripping off their heads, and it's just gross. So hence this is my response to that.
The fact of the matter is that if you are going to be a critic of games, or you want to talk about video games in this spectrum, it is nice to know that you actually have an idea of what the fuck you are talking about. If I was to come out and start preaching about how horrible the UFC is and how sexist it is, then it would be perfectly reasonable for someone to ask me how much I actually know about the UFC. Same thing goes for video games. That is a simple fact. If you want to be critical of a subject, then the onus is on you to prove that you know something about the subject material, past saying that you have been a gamer your whole life without proof, especially when you can discredit yourself so perfectly like Sarkeesian.
I'm not a fan of video games.
If I enthusiastically express my fondness for video games, no one will automatically assume I'm faking my interest just to get attention from other gamers.
Couldn't this one have been combined with the last one since the problem is connected? If you can prove your actual love for video games, then the question won't be there. Once again, listen to the UFC example I gave. I know nothing about the UFC, but if I was to jump into someone else's conversation about some UFC fight, just so my voice can be heard, then guess what? It will be perfectly reasonable to question my motives behind it. Especially if I have proven how much I don't like the UFC and hate everything about it when it doesn't pander to me personally. Yes, I am pointing most of my points right back to Sarkeesian because this video was uploaded to her channel, and fair is fair, right?
I can look at practically any gaming website, show, or magazine and see the voices of people of my own gender widely represented.
Well, golly gee, Willikers, mister, you sure got me there. It's not like you got a Kotaku or Rock Paper Shotgun and a multiple of other sites that house multiple women journalists. Jeez. Even local news stations here in Arkansas have female anchors, multiple on-site women journalists, and even women meteorologists. Women are creating video games. Women hold some of the most powerful positions in the world, but apparently they are not able to see them for some reason. And the only reason I can think of is that women are all born with an inability to see other women. You wouldn't be using a strawman argument right now, would you?
When I go to a gaming event or convention, I can be relatively certain that I won't be harassed, groped, propositioned, or catcalled by total strangers.
Nope. No man has ever been harassed at a convention. Ever! Even though I know that they have and I've personally seen it happen. I have personally seen men who have women following them around at anime conventions, if nothing else, just because they are cute or were dressed as one of their favorite characters. I have never seen people try to just touch J. Michael Tatum, Chuck Huber, who is a fun guy to drink with, by the way, or Vic Mignogna. Though if you are groped at a convention regardless of your gender, which I personally have had my ass grabbed at a few conventions by strangers, then you should take it to the staff and report it. Men are subject to sexual objectification and catcalling, as was proven in the man walking through New York video. And to try to push it as such is quite disrespectful to your fellow humans. I won't use fellow man here because that would be sexist.
I will never be asked or expected to speak for all other gamers who share my gender.
Who in the hell asked Anita or Brianna or any of the female critics to speak for their entire gender? Anita took it upon herself to make the video series she is making. She put herself on a pedestal. And if this is a huge problem, then you have the ability to say no if it bothers you so much. Sweet Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and Moses on a pogo stick, she is not speaking for all women. Of course, people are not going to ask you to speak for them because they have the ability to speak for themselves. And if, say, Anita Sarkeesian feels that she is speaking for all women, that shows a huge amount of arrogance on her part. And I would ask her to look up the women of Gamergate, Christina Hoff Sommers, and Shoe on Head, since I can promise you that she does not speak for them.
I can be sure that my gaming performance, good or bad, won't be attributed to or reflect on my gender as a whole.
Then obviously you have never played a game online or in a group when people will call you a pussy, a wimp, a little girl, a faggot, or a virgin just because you aren't playing as well as other people. Hell, they'll even make fun of the size of your dick. Those are the joys of playing only single-player games, right? Or maybe just choosing to not use the group chat functions in online games.
My gaming ability will never be called into question based on unrelated, natural, biological functions.
See the previous statement because they are one and the same, which so far makes this a list of not 25 things, but only 22. Once again, according to some people, having a small dick or being gay makes you worse at video games if you're a man.
I can be relatively sure my thoughts about video games won't be dismissed or attacked based solely on my tone of voice, even if I speak in an aggressive, obnoxious, crude, or flippant manner.
So then you must have never muted anyone on Xbox Live or the PSN while playing Call of Duty. You're a bigger man than I am because I have muted lots of people, especially guys who act like total jackasses. This is something that affects everyone, and regardless if you are a man or a woman, or something in between if you must. If you act like a petulant child or are completely annoying, people are going to ignore you and try to shut you the fuck up. Sweet Jesus, you people are stupid.
I can openly say that my favorite games are casual, odd, non-violent, artistic, or cute, without fear that my opinions will reinforce a stereotype that men are not real gamers.
Well, nope, you sure won't, Master of the Mustache of Shame. Seriously, look at that fucking thing. What you will end up doing is show that you're not a real gamer because all you play are casual games that require no real skills. Regardless if you are a man or a woman, if you play nothing but Candy Crush, then I am sorry, you're not a real fucking gamer. Because those games require no skills past being able to do the simplest of actions. That is why there is a difference in terminologies when labeling them. There are games and casual games for a reason. Your gender holds no bearing here. To think that women playing casual games strengthens a stereotype, then you are the person ignoring the large amount of women gaming groups and championship teams, and not only first-person shooters, but also games like Pokemon. We are not the people that are discrediting them. You are with your statements. Oh, and Okami is artistic as fuck, and no one would say it is a girly game, or that by playing it you are girly, so go fuck yourself, Mustache Man.
When purchasing most major video games in a store, chances are I will not be asked if, or assumed to be, buying it for a wife, daughter, or girlfriend.
No, the store clerk might not say anything out loud, but if you, Mr. Manly Man, went in and grabbed Barbie's Pony Adventure, then a few thoughts will enter their head. Either that you are buying that game from your wife, girlfriend, or daughter, and if you're not, then you're probably gay. Sorry, but that is a fact, because the gender stereotype for men is that we only play manly games. Wait. Are you ignoring a problem with gender stereotypes to forward your agenda? You wouldn't be.
The vast majority of game studios, past and present, have been led and populated primarily by people of my own gender, and as such, most of their products have been specifically designed to cater to my demographic.
Oh my God, you're right! This was the case with all areas of industry when they first started. Journalism was a man's game for years. Big business was all male, but they have changed, and we are already seeing the shift in the gaming industry. My question is, why don't you focus on industries such as construction, lawn care, farming, military service, or any other industries that are predominantly male? Oh, wait, I forgot. Most women don't want those jobs, so it isn't a problem. Well, I'm sorry, excuse me for trying to be logical. It happens every now and then, and it was completely my fault.
I can walk into any gaming store and see images of my gender widely represented as powerful heroes, dastardly villains, and non-playable characters alike.
Oh man, you are so right! There are no games that openly display women as the powerful hero. That would be impossible to ever find in the gaming industry. I sure hope no one can provide evidence that what I just said was a full strawman argument, because that would be bad for me.
I will almost always have the option to play a character of my gender, as most protagonists or heroes will be male by default.
You know, you would have been right until a large majority of games, especially the Western RPG scene, have started using character creators so you can choose what you want to be. MMORPGs all have character creators that allow you to choose your gender. Even games like Saints Row allows you to choose. If you were talking about games like Call of Duty and whatnot, well, I'm sorry. If even recent studies shows that the military forces are predominantly male, then they're just actually reflecting reality, and that's not their fault. Hell, even JRPGs are more diverse without the effects of social justice warriors. The changes are already in place, but to accept that would mean that you would have to stop getting all this wonderful attention, right?
I do not have to carefully navigate my engagement with online communities or gaming spaces in order to avoid or mitigate the possibility of being harassed because of my gender.
I probably never think about hiding my real-life gender online through my gamer name, my avatar choice, or by muting voice chat out of fear of harassment resulting from my being male.
When I enter an online game, I can be relatively sure I won't be attacked or harassed if and when my real-life gender is made public.
If I am trash-talked or verbally berated while playing online, it will not be because I am male, nor will my gender be invoked as an insult.
While playing online with people I don't know, I won't be interrogated about the size and shape of my real-life body parts, nor will I be pressured to share intimate details about my sex life for the pleasure of other players.
Yeah, I'm sorry, those 5 were all the same complaint, just said a little differently each time. But the problem is, once again, that they are all saying that no man is ever made fun of by using male stereotypes. Please see the sections where I stated the insults in regards to penis size, the lack of sexual gravitas or experience, being a sissy in comparison to other men, etc. These things happen, but if they were to admit it, that would ruin their whole argument. Also, whoopee! This 25 item list is now only 18 items because those 5 were all the same damn thing. Joy.
Complete strangers generally do not send me unsolicited images of their genitalia or demand to see me naked on the basis of being a male gamer.
In multiplayer games, I can be pretty sure that conversations between other players will not focus on speculation about my attractiveness or sexual availability in real life.
What the fuck games are you playing online? Are you playing Second Life? If so, that is your own damn fault, since that game is nothing more than an online sex simulator. Sweet Jesus, what games are you playing where people are just straight out sending you pictures of their dicks? The only way this could happen is if you give them your personal information, and guess what? They could do that even if you're a guy. Holy hell, I'm sorry, but this will end up sounding a lot like victim blaming, but sharing your private info with complete strangers online is a dumbass move, regardless of your gender. These arguments are just getting dumber and fucking dumber. People are assholes online, and that is due to the anonymity allowed. And even if you share info outside of the gaming sphere, this shit will happen to men and women alike. What the fuck are you smoking?
If I choose to point out sexism in gaming, my observations will not be seen as self-serving, and will therefore be perceived as more credible and worthy of respect than those of my female counterparts, even if they are saying the exact same thing.
Well, guess what? That's a bold-faced lie, because if that was true, I wouldn't be making this response to you, now would I? Surely that was the dumbest point so far, because there is a golden rule of the internet. If you act like an idiot, you will be treated like an idiot, and that rule knows no gender whatsoever.
Because it was created by a straight white man, this checklist will likely be taken more seriously than if it had been written by virtually any female gamer.
I'm sorry, but 24 and 25 are the same goddamn points, and my video alone proves them both incorrect. Sweet Jesus, this ended on a high note. Holy fuck, you're a fucking idiot.
These benefits should not be reserved for men.
This list is not meant to suggest that male gamers are always treated well.
Sometimes we are bullied.
Or subjected to online nastiness.
But it's not based on or because of our gender.
In order to make change,
first we need to acknowledge the problem.
And then we must take responsibility for it as a community.
I'm sorry, but fuck you, no. The whole video you just made is an attack to make men feel bad because they have male privilege. This was a psychological attack on men just because they are men. You say that we can't help enjoying these things that are lies all because we are born men. Your video is an attack based on a gender alone and nothing else, so you are proving yourself wrong 100% right here. Damn it, this is why I love the internet, because of people like this who make severe contradictions without realizing it. God, I love it. It's beautiful.
So we can actively work together
with people of all genders to dismantle the parts of gaming culture
that perpetuate these imbalances.
All people of all genders
must be treated with respect and dignity.
Together, we can make gaming better.
Together, we will make gaming better.
Yeah, that is a great message. We should work together to make the gaming industry better by shaming men and telling gamers that they are dead, and journalists and video game creators that they are not supposed to pander to the gaming community. Just because they're men, which is something they can't control, by telling them that their actions are evil just because they are men. And that they need to bend a knee and just listen and believe. I'm sorry. I am a skeptic, which is why I refuse to just listen and believe. If I didn't, I'd still be a Christian. This will never change, and the route that people like you are taking will not make gaming better, but make it a system that will destroy itself because it will become something that ostracizes men just for being men. I'm sorry. You cannot replace misogyny with misandry and call that equality. It is as simple as that. Sorry, but that is a fact because the standard stereotype... Standard stereotype? Seriously, what the fuck?